We've been in the house for a little over 3 weeks now, and it has been very slow moving. I still don't really feel like we are living here long term. It just kind of feels like we're on some sort of weird vacation in a house and we're gonna be returning to the apartment shortly, and it just doesn't feel permanent, which is really weird. I think it's probably just because we don't have a ton of furniture right now, and so it just kind of feels very empty. So hopefully as we start accumulating more things and making it more of a home, that will come together, and that feeling of, this is my space, this is where I'm going to be for a bit, will set in. But other than that, it's been a pretty good month. I haven't had time to check in. Well, I have had time. I haven't filmed yet this month. But it has been really, really good, especially symptom-wise. I feel like I've been doing light years more than I was even just last month, which is so hope-giving and exciting, and I'm hoping that this new house is a new chapter and that I will continue just to get better and better. But I realized that in these videos I haven't really talked about the things that I've been doing that have helped me. And I think especially this past month and in September, I took a big shift in what I was doing because, I feel like I'm constantly taking these really big shifts to try to, figure out what works for my symptoms and what doesn't. But I feel like specifically the past 2 months, I've been taking a lot of shifts that have actually seemed to be helping, and in my previous videos I haven't really talked about any of the things that I've been doing to help, and I want my videos to be helpful for anybody who might be going through a similar situation. My videos thus far I feel like have been pretty depressing, which my intention when I first started recording these videos was not to put them out for other people to see, because they showcase a lot of not so happy moments in my life, and me being emotional and just things that I wouldn't normally put out. There's very few people in my life who have ever even seen me cry, so putting that out on the internet is definitely very nerve-wracking and something I wasn't sure that I was going to do. But I realized it's a disservice to other people, I feel like, to not put the videos out. So from here on out, I plan to talk more about the things that I'm doing that are working, the things that I've done that haven't worked, and hopefully just share more of my journey and not just the emotions that go along with it, because I feel like that's kind of what my videos thus far have been. So that's what this video is going to be. It's going to be me going through all the things that I feel like have been helping me a lot these past 2 months, and hopefully I can continue to better my symptoms going forward and won't have a regression. That's something that I've definitely been very kind of scared of, because normally in the October, November, December time, those are my worst symptom months I've found in the past 3 years, and this is the first October where I've been doing well. I'm just really hoping that I continue on this path, because November and December are my favorite months, and I have not been able to participate really in them for the past 3 years because of my problems, and that's been really, really hard emotionally, causing breakdowns every November and December, and it's not pleasant to go through. And so I'm just trying to, at the very minimum, stay where I'm at this month, or where I've been at this month symptom wise, if not get even better in November and December. But these are the things that have been working for me. So I'm just going to start by saying that the symptoms of POTS are so different from person to person that all of the things that I'm going to talk about in this next part of the video are things that I have found that work for me or don't work for me, and just because they work for me or don't work for me doesn't mean they will work for you or not work for you, if that makes sense. I've found over the past 3 years a lot of the things that I've tried that have worked really well for other people have not worked for me, and kind of vice versa, like I just said. So I just wanted to start off by saying that, because the things that I might mention, you might be like, ugh, that didn't work for me, or oh, I've never tried that. And it really, really is like all of this is so much of trial and error. So, just gonna start off by saying that. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, I'm gonna start by going over things that I've found help with my flare ups and my really, really bad days. I still have yet to find a perfect recipe for that, but these are just a few of the things that I've found can help occasionally. So, starting off, we have electrolytes. Not all electrolytes are made the same. That is something I have found, and I have found that Liquid IV works the best. It is expensive. And I just recently switched to it a couple months ago. Initially, I was using Ultima, and just the past couple of months using Liquid IV, I have found that it works 10 times better than the Ultima ever did, which is horrible because I was using the Ultima for years. So I guess it's good that I know that now. I will say I don't take Liquid IV every single day. I only take it when I have a flare up or a bad day, or if I feel like I'm going into a flare up as like a precaution. But I try not to take it every day because, like I said, they are expensive. If I were in the same place I was the first year and a half of my symptoms, I would be taking it every day. I think all of this really depends on where you are symptom wise, like what level you are. In the beginning, I was like very top worst symptoms that you could have. Now I'm kind of in the middle. So back in the beginning, I would have been taking the electrolytes every single day. Now I just kind of take them as a precaution or when I have a flare up. Another thing that I do when I have a flare up is compression stockings, or I have a compression waistband. I personally have found that those are not super helpful to wear day to day. Again, I know a lot of people who swear by compression stockings and compression garments in general. I only find that they really help if I'm in a flare up. That's the only time I really see a difference. When I'm just wearing them on a regular day-to-day basis, I don't feel like they really do anything. So I only ever wear my compression stockings when I'm in a flare up, feel like I'm going into a flare up, or if I know I'm going to be up for a long period of time. So I always wear them when I leave the house because most of them are kind of a hassle to put on. So to just already have them on kind of eliminates that, and is like a precautionary little thing to do before I leave the house. So that's my thoughts on compression stockings. Don't wear them every day. But if you find that they help wearing them every day, then that's great as well. Now, another thing that I would say that helps with flare-ups is elevating your feet. Now, this definitely depends on whether you're on a medication that you can do that or not, or if you're on medication at all. For me, I can't lay down on my medication, so I have to wait until it wears off if I want to do that. But if you're not on a medication, or you're on a medication that allows you to be able to lay down, laying down and putting your feet up, whether that be putting them on a wall or just elevating them with some pillows under your feet, whatever is more comfortable for you. I find that that helps a lot. It helps to increase the circulation from your feet to your brain, and while you're doing that, doing breath work can help too, because it helps to regulate your system, helps get oxygen into the blood, all of that kind of stuff. So I do all three of those measures together, again, depending on where I'm at in my medication, if I'm able to lay down or not. So the Liquid IV, the compression stockings, and feet elevation are kind of the three main things that I do when I have a flare up so far. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about all of the things that I do every single day on a regular basis to try to keep my symptoms at bay, starting with salt. As you know, if you have POTS, that's normally the number one recommendation by doctors is to increase your salt intake by a lot, and that can be hard if you're not eating foods that you would normally put salt in. So to be able to make sure that I am getting in the amount of salt that I need every day, I put it in my water. I put whatever type of salt is nearest. I normally do either table salt or pink Himalayan salt. I try to use pink Himalayan salt because it has more minerals, but whatever is closest to me is what I grab, and I just put a few shakes in my water every time I fill my water up. And then, per usual, if I am eating a meal where I would put salt on it, I will load up on the salt in that. You can also take tablets. They have salt tablets. That's something they suggest. For me, salt tablets were so harsh. That was what I was taking when I first got sick. They were so harsh in my stomach. Every single day I was running to the toilet and dry heaving. It was so bad. Then somebody recommended pink Himalayan capsules to me, which you can get on Amazon, I believe, or you can even make your own by going to a health store and getting the capsules yourself and then getting pink Himalayan salt and putting that in. I have done that before when they were on back order. It's super easy if you do have to take that route to make your own pink Himalayan salt capsules, but they are so much more gentle on your stomach. No dry heaving. I could take way more than I did of the tablets. Now I just go for the water, but if you need something quick and you need a lot of salt quick, then I would recommend doing the pink Himalayan salt capsules. Again, whatever works, but I think those are a lot more gentle on the stomach and won't have you dry heaving over a toilet. The next thing I do is exercise. Now, this is a very controversial, I don't even know if controversial is the right word, but when I first got diagnosed with POTS and the doctors told me that I needed to exercise, it sounded like some extremely cruel joke that they were playing on me, and it really messed with my head because I was not able to do basically any type of exercise, especially not the type that they were recommending. I could barely sit up at the time, let alone they had been recommending me to get on a recumbent bike and ride a bike for 15 minutes. And we had a recumbent bike. I tried to get on it. Like I said, I could barely sit up at the time. And it was a horrible experience. It would put me in these extremely excruciating symptoms that would last for days. Couldn't look at TV, my eyes were so sensitive, just all my symptoms were so bad doing them. And the fact that they recommended that as my starting place and that I was supposed to work up from there, one messed with my mind because I was like, I can't do that. Like, I just cannot do that type of exercise. So I will tell you where I started, and that is doing exercises in bed. Again, this all completely depends on where your symptom levels are. If you were where I was at when I started, this is what I would say. If you're where I'm at now, then I'll talk about that in a second. But to start, I would say doing any type of exercise that you can do in a bed with bands, or even if you don't have bands, just doing like little leg exercises. I'll add some little videos or pictures of types of exercises you can do in bed, and just starting with very low reps and repetition, and working up every single week. And when I say low reps and repetition, I mean like low, like 3 to 5 reps repeated once. That's it. And then continually work your way up every week, adding more reps or more rounds, but really listening to your body. And if you need to draw back more, draw back more. For where I'm at now, I still mainly only ever do horizontal workouts. I also have a floor bike that I use, a floor pedal that I use, but I still only really do horizontal workouts and exercises. I found that Pilates is mostly my go-to. I will watch YouTube videos and follow along with those. If they do anything standing, I will just skip over them. I found that Pilates mostly tends to be on the floor types horizontal workouts where you're not standing up and getting down, and that's the best position for us in POTS, to be on the floor already, just in case we do get dizzy or pass out. We're not falling far or at all, because we're already there. But yeah, so I do Pilates. If I am watching a video and they do an exercise that makes my heart rate go really high, then I skip it. If they stand up, I skip it, and I just go for as long as I can. Right now, that is still not very long for me, but it is longer than it was 2 years ago, significantly longer. So now I average 10 to 15 minutes a day, which doesn't sound like a lot at all, but it is a lot for me. It is very much day to day for me. Some days I can get 10 minutes, some days I can get 15 minutes, some days I wake up and I'm not feeling good and all I can get in is 3 minutes. And I think that's something that's really hard to come to terms with when you hit the 3 minutes and you're like, oh, I cannot go any longer. And then you're like, oh, this sucks. I'm going backwards and blah, blah, blah. But I found that it's way better to just listen to my body, stop if I need to stop at 3 minutes, and just be done for the day. And just don't get discouraged and keep going every single day, even if all you can do is 2 minutes. That's what you got to do. And I still have those days now. I had one a couple weeks ago where I could only get 3 minutes, multiple times per week. I only could get 3 minutes, and I got a little discouraged, but it's nothing to be discouraged about. I was still doing pretty okay during the day. It was just I couldn't get through those workouts. So be really gentle with yourself and don't be discouraged on the days that you can't make it as far, or if you need to pull back on the workouts for a week or a couple of weeks. Do that, but don't stop doing the workouts. Do something every day, even if, again, it's just those 3 minutes. Along with, or I guess paired with, your exercise, I recommend doing a meditation or breath work immediately after finishing your workout. I found that that has worked wonders in helping me recover afterwards. It allows my body the time to re-regulate itself, my nervous system time to decompress after the workout, and kind of put myself back into a more relaxed state. I don't know. It basically just gives me more time to regulate my body. So after my exercise, I immediately follow it with either meditation or breath work for at least 10 to 15 minutes, normally 10. 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long you want to do it. I also forgot to mention that I do my workouts in the morning. I have found that if I don't work out in the morning, and by when I say the morning, I mean I literally wake up, change, and work out before I do anything else, before I eat, before I literally do anything else. First things first is the workout. I've found that if I don't do my workout in the morning, if I do it anytime, any other time throughout the day, or if I don't do a workout at all, my symptoms throughout the day are significantly worse than on the days where I do the workout. Even if I don't do a long workout, or even if I can't get through the workout, I don't know what it is, but if I don't do some sort of exercise in the morning, I don't feel good throughout the rest of the day, or I don't feel as good as I do on the days where I do get up in the morning and exercise. So that is something, and then follow that exercise up with the meditation or the breath work. And those things I think have been really significant in helping me manage my symptoms and throughout the day. Another thing, this is something that your doctors will also tell you, is make sure you're eating as best as you can. I know, again, going back to where I was when I first was diagnosed, I was so dizzy and so nauseous all the freaking time that eating just didn't sound good. I never had an appetite. I never felt hungry. So it was very easy to just not eat. Obviously not good in any situation that you're in. So I don't know if forcing is the right word, but just making sure that you're eating something, even if it's just a handful of, I don't know, crackers, or a couple of 2 slices of an apple every 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, just making sure that you're eating throughout the day. I have found that my diet has definitely affected whether or not I feel good. I have found that sugar is a very big trigger for me in my symptoms. So I have pretty much cut out almost all sugar in my diet. And when I say sugar, I mean artificial sugars, processed sugars, things like that, not natural sugars that come in, fruits and things like that. Natural sugar doesn't seem to affect me at all, but I have definitely noticed that artificial sugars and processed sugars are such a huge trigger and make me feel so bad. So in the past 2 months, I've definitely really overhauled my diet even more so. I feel like I am overhauling it every single year. It just gets better and better. And the past couple of months, I've been feeling good, and I've probably been eating the best I've been eating. Very low processed food, very low sugar. I actually saw somebody on one of the forums I'm on, for Pot, say that she basically follows a diabetic diet. I hate the word diet because it makes it sound like you're trying to lose weight, but basically she follows the diabetic diet, and so I went and I looked at what a diabetic diet is, and that's basically what I've been eating for the past 2 or 3 months that I've been feeling good. So maybe try out a similar diet if you don't know where to start, and see if that helps your symptoms at all. I found that it has helped mine a lot. And again, just making sure that I'm eating every 3 to 4 hours. Luckily, I have a medication that I have to take every 4 hours, so I know that if I haven't eaten between the time I take it and by the time I need to take my second one, that it's time for me to eat. So that's kind of a good reminder. But if you don't have a medication, or you're not good at, you know, making sure you're eating, even setting a timer can help. But yeah, just making sure you're eating as much as you can, even if you don't necessarily feel like it. I definitely have days where I still get really nauseous and just like do not want to eat anything, but I still try my best to get stuff in on that day, even if it's just not as much as I normally would eat. Also, small meals, small meals, big meals are a trigger as well. So, eating really small meals multiple times per day rather than the three big meals. That's normally a suggestion that you'll get from your doctor as well. But if you didn't, that's a note to take, is smaller meals instead of big ones. Also, going along with the whole nausea thing, because that has been a very big battle that I have faced with this whole pot, is the nausea is extreme. Some people don't have it. I've had a lot of it. If you're somebody who struggles with that as well, I can suggest ginger root. Either I take ginger root capsules, but you can also take straight up, like, get a ginger root and either eat it or put it in a smoothie, or make like a juice out of it, whatever way you want to get it in. I've found that those help a lot with nausea, so ginger root capsules is what I take. I also recently saw a stomach doctor because I have so many stomach problems along with the POTS. And he suggested something called IB Guard. I'm still looking for an alternative because it is expensive. But I've been taking it for about 2 weeks now, maybe a little over 2 weeks, probably, yeah, a little over 2 weeks, and has been great. A lot of my stomach issues, I feel like, have gone away. So yeah, I would suggest maybe trying those two things out, either together or separately. Out of the two, I would say the IB Guard works the best, but again, it is more expensive, and I'm still looking for an alternative to it because I feel like there should be, because it's just peppermint things. So, and then the final couple of things that I'm going to mention are more about mindset, but your mind has such power over your body. You can literally make yourself sick from stress, and when you are dealing with any type of physical illness, it can, long-term physical illness, it can really mess with your head, and that stress can make your symptoms even worse. Although it's not normally like the first suggestion you might get, making sure that you are working on your mental state is also very important as well. So the next couple of recommendations are for your mental state. I already mentioned meditation. I try to do that every day. Journaling is great. I am not a constant journaler. I have tried. I can't do it. I just do it when I am the most stressed, or when I make a big breakthrough, or when I have a big setback, then I will journal about that, and that tends to help a lot with just like releasing the feelings that I'm having. Also, along with journaling, therapy, I recently started that about a month ago. I wish that I would have started it a long time ago. I should have started it a long time ago. If you have the means to get therapy, which I know that not everybody does, I would say definitely do it. Don't be me and put it on the back burner and push it back and push it back. Just do it. Seriously, like schedule it down that you're gonna set an appointment. If you don't have the means to have a therapist, making sure that you're talking to somebody, whether that's a friend or a family member or a stranger that you meet on the street, just making sure that you're able to get it out. Or even something like this, making a video of yourself just talking through your feelings. If you're not a writer and you don't want to journal it, or you just feel like you need to speak it out, I found that making these videos has been helpful, especially to be able to look back on. The past couple of months on my hard days, I have actually gone back and looked at my journals from last year, and I was in such a different place, such a different headspace. And I'm not light years better by any means now, but looking at where I was then versus now, I see how far I've come, and that's helped a lot with making sure that I keep going and not getting so down on myself when I have setbacks. So for that reason, I think either creating a video log or journaling is a great pastime along with therapy. And then the final thing is just like, I've said this multiple times, but making sure that you're not getting down on yourself when you have setbacks, because those setbacks are, I don't want to say inevitable, but they kind of are. They're gonna happen. They happen in everybody's life, whether they're going through an illness or not. But just being really, really nice to yourself and letting yourself know that, like, just because you have a setback doesn't mean you're not gonna be able to come back from it. And that, like, it's gonna stay that way, or you're not gonna progress, because that's where my mind has gone a lot when I have bad weeks or bad days. My mind goes straight to like, oh, I can't believe I'm still going through this, or oh, it's been years, like when is this gonna stop, or all of that. But then I have good days, like today I'm able to sit up and record, and I've gotten up and done my workout this morning. And just being really, really nice with yourself and gentle, and allowing yourself to feel the feelings you have, but also not letting them overcome you and be an even bigger setback to your progress. And then I said that was the final thing, but I'm also going to say faith. Faith has played a very, very big role in my ability to get through this. And if I didn't have faith, I probably wouldn't be here right now, because some of the struggles are just that I've gone through have just been too hard for me to get through. But my faith in God has gotten me through it. I know that not everybody believes, but if you believe in something, no matter what that might be, to help you get through it, diving into that as much as you can will probably be a really big help for you. I personally try to read the Bible every day. I pray every single day. I submit my hardships to God and talk to Him and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I just think that that has played a big role in my ability to not give up. And so I wanted to mention it. But I think that's all that I have to mention for this video. I hope that it helps somebody that's watching it, and if you have suggestions on things that you might think will help somebody else, put them in the comments. I hope to continue to make these videos and to continue to find things that help my symptoms and be able to share those with you guys. And I don't know, I guess that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in November.